Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Fishing Fitz, and it is a beautiful day. I got my mystery tackle box in the mail, and I'm going to be attempting to go do a mystery tackle box slam. I got to be honest with you guys, I already did take a little sneak peek into the mystery tackle box, and there are some hard bait lures, so I mean, it's going to be a little bit more challenging than it usually is, but I think I'll still be able to catch some fish. I typically don't use hard bait, so it's going to be a little bit more interesting for me today. In my last mystery tackle box video, I did catch a fish on a jerkbait, so that kind of, boosted my confidence. So hopefully today I'll be able to catch a couple more. All right, y'all, so let's open up this box and see what we got. Looks like first things first, we got the Dibble Tips and Tricks from Mystery Tackle Box. Got a little bait card here with all the prices and whatnot. Got a Catch Co sticker, guy on a boat. Got Carl's Amazing Baits, Lipless Crank. This is what I was talking about, one of the hard baits here. It's a little bit crazy looking, chartreuse, purple, and blue. This will probably work better for some stained water, but clear water, I just don't know if it will work. We got a little lunker hunt kind of perch and almost bluegill colored. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has some blue up by the gill, and it looks really good. I think for smallmouth this summer, if I don't catch anything now, smallmouth will absolutely love this in Idaho. I think this will be a really good bait. Next up, we got the Stickies Wacky Rig Drop Shot Hooks. I know exactly what I'm going to be pairing them with. This Cabin Creek Smoky Salt Lizard. Perfect size, just tiny little things. These smaller bass in these ponds will absolutely tear those up. Smart baits, color changing baits. I'll have to get some bigger hooks than those little drop shot hooks for these, but I've used this color in the past, and actually the last video where I bass fished, they worked really good, so I'm thinking the bass will still be biting in this color. The first bait that I'm actually going to be tying on are these little smart baits. I think they look really good. Neon color, they've actually already changed colors. I don't know if it's the air or what, but I know the bass are going to love them. I'm about to get all set up and start working my way to the pond. Alright, y'all, so I just made it to the first pond, and it's looking pretty dang good. There's a bunch of pollen over the top of the water, and it is a super short walk getting here. This is actually my pond if you guys didn't. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long to get my first bite. Just do a little first cast out there, give it a dangle, and hopefully catch some fish. There's a fish. There we go, fish on. That's a good one. That's a good fish. That is a very good fish. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. That is a nice fish. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Running right at me, running right at me. Get up here on the bank. Look at that. That is what we're looking for right there. That is what we're looking for. Calm down, big mama. That's a nice fish right there. Got a little bit of pollen on her, but that's probably a solid 3-pounder. Wow. Look at that fish. Absolutely choked the worm too. Tore it up. Wow. When I set that hook, I figured there'd be a fish right over there on that bank, kind of by the outflow. And sure enough, this big girl was sitting over there. That's a nice fish. This is just such a beautiful fish. I'm really glad to get the opportunity to catch her tonight. I told you guys that there were some pretty nice fish in here, and just pulled out a probably 3.5 pounder, full of eggs right now, just a super fat fish. All right, let's get her back into the water. Just like this. Bite me. Oh, there she goes. Back down to the depths. Alright, y'all, if you guys haven't noticed, it is the next day from that clip that y'all just saw of me releasing that fish. I know it's just kind of a crazy transition, but you guys got to hear me out. I'm at a different pond now. I know it seems kind of crazy, but I'm going to try to catch some more fish in here. I know it sounds a little bit weird that I switched from the pond that I caught a 3.5 pounder on to this pond, but I haven't fished this pond in a while, so it hasn't had a lot of pressure, so I'm really thinking I'll be able to catch some fish. There we go, fish on. Look at that, that's a chunk. That is a chunk. Hit it right by the bank. Oh yeah, little chunky guy. Heck yeah. Probably about a pound, pound and a half. It's a nice fish, good way to start the day. This is a really nice way to start the day, probably about a pound, pound and a half fish. Not very long, but that belly right now is probably full of eggs. You can also see her tail's a little bit bloodied up, so she's starting to spawn. There she goes. Alright y'all, so now that I've caught 2 fish on that red worm, I'm actually going to switch over to that lizard and actually switch ponds too, because that lizard's kind of clear, that smoky color, and this pond is really dirty. So I'm going to go to a little bit cleaner pond and see if I can catch a fish there. Here's what we got for our rig here. We got the little stickies that came in the mystery tackle box. We got some little bullet weights that I need to use so I can actually get the lizard out there because it's super lightweight. And then we got the lizard right here. And this is how it's looking. It looks a little funky, but I'm hoping it'll be able to catch a fish. Typically, I wouldn't use a wacky rig hook for something like this, like a lizard, but it's so small I don't have a Texas rig hook that would really work for it. Now that I've gotten that lizard tied up, I'm going to go to that other pond that I was talking about and hopefully catch some fish. I just made it to the pond and it's not looking a lot clearer than that other one, but still a little bit more clear. So I'm hoping to get on some fish. I'm going to fish around these vegetation for a little bit. Now I'm going to start working my way around the pond. That's a fish already. Oh, just missed one. That's a fish. There we go. Fish on. Already. Fishing by this vegetation paid off. That was like my second or third cast into the pond. Right over here. It's a dink, but at least the switch worked on the lizard. Man, he munched it. Just started dragging it into the vegetation. I knew it was a fish. Hook pops right out. Let's get him back into the water. Get him right back down there. Bam. This water is a little bit clearer than that other pond. I think that really helped. Second or third cast got one, so that's awesome. All right, y'all, so I've caught fish on 2 of the baits now, 2 of the soft plastics, and this little lizard worked really well. Second or third cast, I got a fish, so I'm gonna fish with it a little bit longer in this pond, and then maybe switch over to one of those hard baits. That last fish just hammered this lizard. Just hammered it. I mean, second or third cast, I had a fish on. So it works pretty good. I didn't know how this little rig was gonna work. I mean, I got a wacky rig hook with a Texas rig weight and a tiny lizard. I didn't know how it was gonna work, but seems to be doing good so far. Just gonna continue to fish with it. As you guys can probably tell, the weather's gotten a lot worse now, and it's actually raining right now. It's not raining as hard as it was raining a lot harder. I may show you guys a clip of that at the end of the video, but it's just gotten way worse, so I'm gonna end up having to call the video. But I am gonna go over my gear right now, and it wasn't a complete fail either. I still did catch a 3-pound bass, and any day you catch a 3-pound bass, it's a good day. All I had today for the rig was the Revo X Abu Garcia reel and my Vertis 6.9 medium heavy rod. It usually gets the job done, and I have 12-pound smooth casting line on. I think it's Maxima line if I'm not mistaken, but seems to do really well for this kind of springtime bass fishing. This mystery tackle box really wasn't that disappointing. I really wish I would have gotten a couple more soft plastics, but that's okay. This was an interesting lure. I didn't even unbox this one because I didn't think it would work very good around these ponds, but this was a really good bait right here. Kind of about a 1.5-pound fish and a 3-pound fish on these. This was a money maker right there. That's what made the video right there. And then you add your little stickies hooks. I was really running low on these, so I'm glad I got some more wacky rid hooks and drop shot hooks. And then here's this. I already unboxed this. This is going to be key for smallmouth this summer when I go to Idaho. It's just that bluegill and perch color. If you guys want to stay more intact with me, be sure to go down to my Instagram down in the description and check that as well. I post on my story almost daily, and I post when new posts are going to come out like this one. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It's been Fishing with Fitz here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.